Hey everybody, welcome into Faith in Football. My name is Neil, and guys, we are here week 3, start sits. Make sure you got your pens and pencils ready to jot all this stuff down. We're going to go through this kind of quick. This is going to be a little shorter episode than you guys are probably used to, so you're welcome. But as always, we're going to start out with the Word of God. James chapter 4, verse 15. Now, I love the book of James. The book of James is one of my favorite books in the Bible. Uh, with the start sets, we kind of look at players and we go, okay, well, I'm going to do this with this player. I'm going to do that with that player. And this defense, I'm going to do this, and this defense, I'm going to do that. A lot like when in life, we make plans and we make preparations and we say stuff like, well, next week I'm going to go here, and next month we're going to go do this and all this other stuff. But what we forget is that God is in control of all of this. He is in control of our lives. He's in control of the things that happen or don't happen to us. So working on that verbiage, working on that language that we use, that that plays a big part in the way that we look at things. And James chapter 4, verse 15 says, what we ought to say is, if the Lord wants us to, we will live and do this or that. Otherwise, you are boasting about your own pretentious plans, and all such boasting is evil. So, guys, when we're going and we're making plans and we're doing things, even with our fantasy team, don't forget to give God glory and praise in the things that do and don't work out, because there's always a reason why things happen. You just have to pause, be close enough to the Lord, and be willing to accept his no as the answer, or his wait a minute, or his we'll see. Just the same way that a child, like if you've got kids now, mine are mostly grown. So I really don't have, well, I don't have it like I used to have it. But you don't have a little kid going, oh, I want this, I want that. And you have to tell them no, like, they want a cookie before they eat dinner. You can't say, oh, yeah, sure, go ahead and have a cookie. No, you tell them to wait. Now, they really want the cookie and you're okay giving it to them, just not right now. That's a lot like God does to us. We want that promotion, we want that new job, we want that new car, we want we want to date that person over there, and we want to get married to this person over here, and we feel that all these things are right, so why can't we have them now? And that's where we get ourselves in trouble a lot, because if we have the ability to do something, 9 times out of 10, we go ahead and do it regardless of what God says about it. And that's what we need to be doing, is we need to be saying, if God allows, if God says it's okay, because ultimately he is the one to make the final decision. So as we walk through the start sits for this week, I want you to keep in mind, pray about your team, pray about your start sets, be sensitive to the calling of the Holy Spirit, because if you are sensitive in the small things, then he will enlighten you in the larger aspects of your life, and you'll be more open to them because you've already got practice. So to quote Allen Iverson, practice. Yeah, we talking about practice. So make sure you're practicing being open, being sensitive, and letting God lead the way rather than yourself. That way, when you do wind up with one of these things at the end of the season, or whatever your league gives for winning the championship, you can rightfully so give God the glory and the credit for allowing you to have that level of success. And hopefully, my prayer is that you can allow God to take credit for a good marriage, a good family life, a good prayer life, a good job, things like that, a good career, uh, blessings on that level. So we're going to build you up to that, guys. Don't worry. So moving forward, you guys know my first tip is always for Zia Rotisserie Bar in Lafayette, Louisiana. You can find them at 237 Duce Road in Lafayette, and it is behind the Grand Theater off Johnson Street in front of Red Laurel's Health Club. And remember, if you go or when you go, we're changing verbiage, guys. We're changing the verbiage. When you guys go down to Zia, make sure that you're showing them that you follow and you're subscribed to this channel. So subscribe, like, share, do all that kind of good stuff. Smash the notification button so you know when I'm putting out new content, and you can get on me from them a free appetizer of your choice for the table just by showing them that you are subscribed to my channel. Now, what's on the menu? Glad you asked. You asked really good questions. So on the menu, everything from hummus to ribs to shrimp, you can get it all on me to you from Zia. If you want to take the ribs for a test drive, order the 4-count, order the 6-count. They got that. If you want a little hummus, see what that's about, they got that too. If you seafood's more your style, then you can go down there and get the Asian almond shrimp. You get the ancho chili shrimp. You get that down there as well, just by telling them or showing them proof of your subscription to this channel, and make sure that you tell them Neil sent you. Y'all have a great time down there at Zia Rotisserie Bar. So make sure you're checking them out, guys. Oh, and if you're in the area and you need catering done, they got you there too. Make sure that you're going down there or you're calling 337-406-0013, and they will hook you up with all kinds of great catering menu items. The ribs, Asian almond ribs, barbecue, dry rub, whatever you want. The rotisserie chicken, you can get a big old thing of hummus if that's your style. Go for it. My wife loves the hummus. It's absolutely phenomenal. That's what she says. Not me so much. I'm more of a rib guy, but that's me. But go down there, check them out. They got all kinds of stuff for you guys. Call Andy at 337-406-0013. Tell him Neil sent you. And hey, who knows? He might hook you up with a little something on your catering order too. No guarantees, but it is a guarantee that you will get an appetizer of your choice when you show them that you subscribe to this channel. Start of the week at quarterback. Derek Carr. Look, guys, I know I never thought that Derek Carr would be the #1 quarterback in fantasy. That's right. He is the most points in fantasy football at the quarterback position, along with teammate Alvin Kamara having the most points at running back. It is just unreal what they're doing with a new offensive coordinator in New Orleans. It is off the chain. If you guys don't have a part of this offense, go get you one, because Derek Carr is only 21% owned in sleeper leagues. I own him in at least one of the leagues that I'm in, and I think I'm starting him this week because he's playing Philly. Look, if you guys didn't see the game Monday night, Kirk Cousins, coming off an Achilles injury, torched Philly in the fourth quarter. Absolute torch. Okay. Just ran down 80-something yards for the score, all passing. They knew it was coming. There was no secret about it. Don't ask me what was happening with the defense, but Kirk Cousins got it done. So Kirk Cousins can get it done. I know Derek Carr can get it done against Philly. So make sure that you're plugging Derek Carr into your lineup if you are looking for a fill-in in the quarterback position. Another guy who is going to have an absolutely phenomenal day, unfortunately, against my Washington team, that's going to be Joe Burrow. Look, I have been hands off Joe Burrow since week 1. I've told you guys before, I was born in Springfield, Missouri, so I got that show me mentality. So I definitely wanted Joe Burrow, Joe Cool, to show me that he had it, and he showed me this past week. So I'm showing him a starting position this week against Washington, who, for all intent and purposes, does not have a secondary. So make sure that you plug in Joe Burrow in. Andre Yoshivas, if he is not on your roster and T. Higgins does not play, make sure that you're plugging that guy in too. Spoiler alert, he is one of my starts of the week at wide receiver. Running back. And guys, I'm going to take a victory lap real quick on the fantasy Fantasy Pros. They were talking so much smack about this guy. I came on here earlier this year and explained, I laid it out why Zach Moss was going to be the guy and not Chase Brown. I could not hear enough of the Fantasy Pros, and I love these guys. I absolutely love these guys. They're phenomenal at what they do. They are professionals, but this one they got wrong. Chase Brown is not the running back that you want to have with the Bengals. Okay. He's just not. Zach Moss, I said it before earlier in the season. I'll say it again to make sure that you guys remember. This is the guy who, as soon as free agency started, Cincinnati purposely went out and got him. They signed him to a deal, multiple years, for more money. So you're not going to go out and pay somebody and sign them to an extension if you don't believe in them, and you're not going to give them the touches that they need to make sure that you pay off that contract. Speaking of paying off, remember, you're talking dough, you're talking, paying stuff off and making something count. There's no better place for dough than Keller's Bakery in Youngsville. Go down there, see my buddy Dusty. You saw him on here before. You know him, you love him. He's the sweetest fantasy football player you ever want to meet. And that's only because he works in a bakery. But go down there and check him out. If you want a king cake, it ain't king cake season, but you can get one from Keller's Bakery. Just go down there Tuesday through Saturday, 6 a.m. to 3 p.m. Get whatever you want. And while you're down there, show them that you subscribe to my channel, and you can get 2 free cookies. And look, they're so nice, you don't even have to buy anything to get the 2 free cookies. Just show them that you listen to this channel. Sorry about that, guys. A little dry throat. But like I said, go down there and check them out. You can find them at 627 Lafayette Street in Youngsville, Louisiana. They're open Tuesday, like I said, Tuesday through Saturday, 6 a.m. to 3 p.m. Show them that you are a subscriber of this channel. Get you 2 free cookies. They're delicious. And I'll continue to say this. Love the chocolate chip. Everything else is great, but I love the chocolate chip. Okay. So, as I said, taking my victory lap on Zach Moss. This is the guy you want to have. He's only 38% started on rosters. I get it. You might not have room. He's not somebody that kind of pops and whatever. But he's facing Washington. Washington's defense is horrible this year. And this is coming from a fan. So, take my word for it. Start Zach Moss. Start Joe Burrow. You will not be sorry. Okay. Next guy. I actually own Breece Hall in 2 of my leagues, and I don't know how I feel about Braylon Allen, who is the rookie running back for the Jets. He is the 2 punch to the 1 punch from Breece Hall, and Aaron Rodgers can't stop talking about both of these guys, talking about the dynamic duo in New York. And no, we're not talking about Batman and Robin. We're talking about Breece Hall and Braylon Allen. He is 20% owned in sleeper leagues. After this week, I got a sneaky suspicion that number is going to shoot up. So if he's probably on your waiver wire, so make sure that you're getting those bids in if you're on a fab budget. I'm not saying he's a total fab dump, but he's definitely worth a couple of bucks to throw on your roster, especially if you are the Breece Hall owner. That's why he is on my waiver wire in every single league that I have. Wide receiver, look, this guy, all he does is catch bomb touchdowns from my start of the week quarterback, Derek Carr. It is none other than Rashid Shaheed in New Orleans with the Saints going up against Philly, who, as I said before, could not stop anything in the fourth quarter. And I don't see it happening now. Look, he had an absolutely unspeakable performance against Dallas. So if he is not out there, he's probably out there on your waiver wire. He's only 59% owned in leagues on sleepers, so make sure that you're going down there and checking him out. And while you're checking stuff out, make sure you check out Amis Groceries at 603 Jefferson Street in Lafayette, Louisiana. They have over 200 local items from over 50 local vendors. So if you're in town, you need a little something to snack on, go down there, check out the little cafe that they got going on inside of Amis. Pick up a couple of things for the house if you need. Look, guys, you need local farm fresh eggs, they got them. You need local meats, they got them. You need some freeze-dried candy because you got a sweet tooth, they got those too. Make sure you go down there and tell Bradley Neal says hi at Amis Grocery, 603 Jefferson Street, inside of Gordon Square. And don't forget to pick up a muffalata slider while you're there. So, second guy I'm going to talk briefly about because I already mentioned him, Andre Yoshivas, wide receiver for the Bengals, going up against Washington. He is only 15% owned, and I got to give a special shout out to my boy Blaze once again for picking this guy up. Yes, it was kind of like accidental. It's kind of like, they say even a blind squirrel can find a nut. Well, I think Blaze needs to change his name from Blazing Blazers to Blind Squirrel because he found a nugget of gold in Yoshivas. This guy has been just surprisingly good coming out of nowhere. And going up against Washington, he definitely has something to show you. my pooches, my little dog is trying to get comfortable here, so sorry about that, guys. Now at tight end for start of the week, look, guys, the tight end position is just so crazy right now. If you have a question about tight end, please, down the bottom, after you subscribe, like, share, smash the notification button so you know when I'm putting out new content. Leave me your tight end questions. I'm going to leave that up to you guys as my viewership to ask me about tight ends. Because it's so team specific and conditional on wide receivers, running backs, matchup, things like that. Down the bottom, leave me those comments. So if you were playing in a league, unlike me, that has a defense, please target Chicago. I know, look, everybody knows to target Carolina, okay? Carolina with Bryce Young, yeah, they were awesome. Awesome target. With Andy Dalton, Dalton's still going to throw interceptions. He's still going to make boneheaded plays, but he's going to be chucking the ball all around the place. Make sure you might not want to target them until you see what he's doing. But when it comes to Chicago, please, by all means, last week, 15 points the Houston Texans got you from Chicago. And this week, the Indianapolis Colts, who already have an outstanding defense, they are only 28% owned in sleeper leagues. Make sure that you are throwing them up if you don't have a outstanding matchup already lined up. This is where streaming defenses come in very handy, and I always recommend it. Now, sits of the week. These are guys who you may have started. Maybe you have two quarterbacks, and you're kind of determining, well, this guy is the guy that I should be starting because he was so highly drafted. But this guy's doing really good. I didn't get him until the 12th round. That's kind of like Derek Carr. Okay. Now, Joe Burrow, you drafted a little later. You probably wait and see. Had injuries that you were waiting on. Derek Carr, you just picked him up, threw him on your bench, whatever. Maybe he was on your waiver wire. You saw what he did week 1. You picked him up. Great. You got an awesome quarterback. Now, these two guys, you probably paid a really high price to get them, and it pains you to sit them on your bench. But I'm telling you right now, the matchups this week are not favorable for these guys. That is Jalen Hurts of the Philadelphia Eagles. Yes, I'm telling you to sit Jalen Hurts because he's going up against the Saints. You saw what the Saints just did to Prescott. Prescott only had 15 points against the Saints. Really want 15 points against the Saints, or do you want like 25 with Derek Carr? Because that's what you're looking at. That's the difference. That 10-point difference is what you're looking at when you're talking about these two players. Now, another guy. This guy, everybody was saying preseason, he's going to break fantasy football. He has the ability to break fantasy football. And I'm not disagreeing with the fact that Anthony Richardson has the ability to absolutely rewrite the record books at the quarterback position. He's got the talent. However, he doesn't have the experience yet. I think it's going to be next year, after a down year with Anthony Richardson, that you're going to want to have him on your roster. Right now, if you have Anthony Richardson, I would wait for that one more good, like just outstanding game, and then try to trade him away for something a little more stable in your quarterback position. Maybe get a little haul for him. Maybe you can get a stable quarterback with an upside wide receiver or running back, whatever you can work out. Please work it out. But this week, going up against Chicago, who has an outstanding defense in its own right, I would definitely sit Mr. Boomer Bust, Anthony Richardson, who this week I'm thinking is going to bust. And if he busts, you want him on your bench, not your starting lineup. So next up, Ramondre Stevenson going up against the Jets. Do I really need to say more? I don't think so. If you have Ramondre Stevenson, look, he's dinged up as it is. Go ahead, send him down, start somebody else. You'll thank me later. Next up, Kyren Williams going up against the 49ers. Look, I don't know what's going on with the Rams. They must be snake bit this year. I don't know. But what I do know is that Kyren Williams, everybody and their mama knows that the Rams have no more wide receivers left. Okay. Yes, they have Tutu Atwell. Yes, they have DeMarcus Robinson. But that's about it. Cooper Kupp just went down. Puka's still out for a while. And Kobe Parkinson did not look that great last week. So everybody is going to try to tell them, beat us with your arm, Matthew Stafford, and whatever makeshift wide receiving core you can throw out there, because we don't think you can do it, but we will stop the run with Kyren Williams. And this is the 49ers we're talking about. The Niners have an outstanding rush defense. I don't think you really want to throw Kyren Williams into that mess. Next up, wide receiver Alec Pierce. Now, Alec Pierce has been on a tear the last couple of weeks, but that's only because he's caught a couple of bomb touchdowns from Anthony Richardson. Could he still do that against Chicago? Maybe. But I think the slipper's going to fall off Cinderella right here on week 3. And you're going to see Alec Pierce just go from here down. Okay, so let's set them down this week and see how things progress with the remainder of the matchups. Now, this next guy that I'm talking about, a lot of managers are panicking about this guy because he lost his starting quarterback and is having to deal with, let's say, a less than adequate starter in the backup, Malik Willis. That's right. Talking about the Green Bay Packers and Jayden Reed. So, Jayden Reed against the Titans in Tennessee. Now, this was in Green Bay. You might give a little nod to him, but I wouldn't be making him my start of the week, and I would be very apprehensive if I had him on my team. I would not want to start him. Now, here's the bright side to this. This is an opportune time to swoop in and lowball somebody for Jayden Reed, because when Jordan Love comes back in about three weeks, then Jayden Reed is going to be right back to his old productive self, catching those passes, scoring those touchdowns. But with Malik Willis, I don't think so, guys. So if you want to target anybody in the wide receiver position, you're definitely targeting Jayden Reed of the Green Bay Packers, because we actually know that his quarterback is coming back. It was an MCL sprain for Jordan Love, and he will be back probably about week 5 or 6. So keep an eye out for it. Keep an eye on the progression. But if you have room on your roster, definitely go in low ball. Maybe they'll take somebody like Brian Thomas Jr. from Jacksonville. He is definitely a boom or bust candidate. You can go off of the good couple of games that he's had, but Jayden Reed is definitely a long-term answer for your wide receiver woes when Jordan Love gets back. But your window is closing the closer that Jordan Love gets to coming back. Right now, it's still far enough away to where those Jayden Reed managers are panicking. So make sure you take advantage of that and make sure that you put out those low ball offers and see what you can get. You might have to go up a little bit, but not much, and don't overpay for them right now. So there's my start sit for week 3, and I will catch you guys next time. And I want you to remember that while you're out there and while you're walking around, remember your verbiage. Remember that what you're saying and how you're saying it. Don't take credit for things that are God's responsibility or God's blessing on your life. Make sure you're giving him all the honor, praise, and glory, and see what a blessing your life becomes. So till next time, guys, we wish you all good luck this week. If you have any questions, I'll be more than happy to answer them right up until game time. Down the bottom, subscribe, like, share. Make sure you smash the notification button, the little bell, to make sure that you know when I'm putting out content. And drop your comments, drop your questions, and let me know where you're at, what you're thinking, and what you need help with, because that's what I'm here for. So, till next time, remember, guys, football's good, but God is greater. And we'll catch you next time on Faith in Football.